Hi, my name is Rihanna Whitnall, owner of Renew Massage and Healing Arts. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate some stretches that you can do for pain and tension in your arms. So this would be your biceps, triceps, and forearms, wrists, and hands as well. So this is going to be especially helpful for those of you working at a desk job on a computer all day, which many of you do. Or in my case, as you know, doing massage, I'm using my arms a lot. So I get a lot of tension, especially my wrists and my forearms. So I'm going to show you some of the stretches that I personally do daily. So you really want to keep up with these stretches, be consistent. This is going to help with carpal tunnel, the tennis elbow, anything like that where you're accumulating pain from that repetitive use. So keep in mind before you do any stretching, you want to be warmed up. You don't want to go beyond what your body is capable of doing. So you want to feel a pull, but never pain. All right, let's get started. We're just going to do a little bit of a warm up, some movement here in the wrists and forearms. This is great to do just even throughout the day. You can do this while you're just sitting at your desk. So just doing some circles with your wrists kind of flexing and extending and doing a circle at the same time. So maybe do like 10 times in each direction. And then opposite. And then you can just do some flexing and flexing and extending. So this is really good. Get your wrists moving here, and a nice stretch in your forearms. So just opening up your hands, and then you want to do a nice little curl with your fists, and you'll feel it all the way along here. So, and you just do this, 10, 20 times. All right. So let's get started with bicep stretch. So this is really an area that gets tight, also just from your posture. So when you're sitting at a desk and your shoulders are hunched forward, so your pecs and your biceps are going to be noticeably tight if you're sitting at a desk all day. It doesn't have to be that you're necessarily lifting a lot, although that's probably part of it as well. So we want to really open all of this up in the bicep and into the chest a little bit as well. So what we're going to do is go to the wall, and you're going to press your palm against the wall. So all of your hand, your fingers, and your palm are flat against the wall there. And then you want this to be pretty much a level straight line to your shoulder. So we're going to press against the wall, and then you're going to rotate. You're going to do a little twist with your body, and then look the other direction. So I feel a really deep opening here in the lower attachments of the biceps, around the elbow joint, the crease up there. I feel a really good stretch. So let's hang here for 15 seconds. And a nice deep breath. All right, and the opposite side. Now, if you're, you can do this while you're at your desk, and you can also just stick your arm out in the air. You won't get quite as deep of a stretch, but you'll still get somewhat of a stretch. So palm and fingers against the wall flat, nice level arm here, and then twist your body opposite direction and looking over that shoulder. And let's hang here for 15. And a nice deep breath. All right, great. So you might want to hold those longer or repeat. You can go on to do those sides again, but we're going to move on for the video. So next, we're going to do a stretch for the triceps. So I'm sure many of you know the stretch where your bending your arm here and going behind your head, and you're really wanting to pull down to get this stretch here in the back of the arm. You can do that, but I actually don't like the feel of that because I feel pressure on my neck. So what I like to do is actually go up against the wall. So same thing where you're going to be bent, bending that arm, but you're going to place your elbow up, and then you're just going to kind of drop, like shift your hips the opposite direction. So popping out that opposite hip so that you can kind of isolate. So you're kind of pulling down here with your elbow up on the wall. You should feel a stretch here. I also do feel it going into my pecs as well. So let's hang here for 15 seconds. And a nice deep breath. All right, and the opposite side. So elbow against the wall, get it in a good position, and then popping that opposite hip up. And then just hang out here for 15 seconds. And a nice deep breath. All right, great. So let's move on to forearms and wrists. So you basically stretching your wrists at the same time as your forearms. So first, what we're going to do, we're flexing our hands again. So fingers are pointed up, and then I just pull back. So this is great because I'm getting a nice stretch in my hands, my fingers, and wrists, and then the lower part of the forearm here. And let's hang here for 15 seconds. Nice deep breath. Okay, and then we're going to go the opposite direction now. So arm is straight, but now your wrist is bending, your fingers are pointing down, and then I'm going to place my hands on, or my opposite hand on the top side of my hand, and then pulling toward myself. So now I'm feeling this stretch here on the top of the wrist and lower forearm. Nice deep breath. All right, on the opposite side, and pulling back. And these are great because you can do them at your desk during the day, multiple times. Nice deep breath. Great, and then we're going opposite. And a nice deep breath. All right, another stretch I like to do, placing palms together and fingers together, and then I'm going to press with all of my fingers, including my thumbs. I'm pressing against, and I feel really good stretch here in my fingers and in the palms of my hands and the top of my hands. So another good stretch to do when you're sitting at your desk. And taking a nice deep breath. All right, and then also we don't want to forget about our thumbs. So You can also do just a little bit of a thumb pull, especially if you're texting a lot. And then you can tuck your thumb into your palm and then do a little bit of a bend here. So just a little add-on when you're doing these stretches for your wrists. Okay, so we're just gonna do one more to deepen the forearms. I really get a lot of pain and tension around this area, especially the flexors. So what I like to do is actually press down against the floor. And I feel a lot deeper than if I'm just pulling with my hands. So go ahead and get down onto your hands and knees. And then what I do is, so I'm gonna be twisting my arms so that my wrists are facing out and they're flexed. And then I'm gonna put my hands down on the floor carefully. You don't want to put too much pressure here where it's gonna be injured. So you're really gonna want to just put some of your weight forward here, but still most of your weight is on your knees. And then kind of sink back. And then you'll get a really nice opening here. And I do these every night. And now we can do the opposite. So we're going to be stretching the top of the forearm. This I like to do independently because I don't want to injure my wrists here by placing both at the same time. So we're just going to do one at a time. So the top of your hand is flat against the floor or mat. And then just kind of hang out here about 15 seconds. And then go on to the opposite. And then you can also stretch your fingers again. Stretch your fingers apart, so kind of like a star. And then you're going to spread them out on the floor and then press down. So I feel a really good opening here in my top and bottom of my hands below the finger joints. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next video.